How to scrape websites in minutes. Top secret automation is going to be revealed. SCRAPEX is a powerful application capable of crawling hundreds of thousands of pages looking for information. SCRAPEX is capable of scraping hundreds of thousands of pages while still being extremely memory efficient. Let me tell you more secrets about its capabilities. Capable of scraping 100,000 plus pages really. Multithreaded to scrape multiple sites simultaneously. Extremely memory efficient for your operating system. Powerful internal URL detection, which is amazing. Easy to modify to scrape whatever you want in minutes. Ability to save huge amount of results without memory spiking. Ability to crawl multiple sites back to back and super fast. Add in proxies, supports credential proxies too. Whitelist filter, must contain for URL, title or Innertext. Blacklist filter, must not contain for URL, title or Innertext. Ability to use both filters at once, which open doors to advanced scraping. Scrape by regular expressions, you don't even have to worry to wait for updates. Built-in regular expressions that you can modify for emails, phone numbers, files, proxies. Ability to remove query if you want, like wakerexpert.com/? This underscore is equals query closing parenthesis. Powerful extension filter built in, which filters pages that can cause problems. You can modify this right in the UI. Set a custom user agent if you want to add your own browser user agent strings. SCRAPEX has a powerful filtering system and is capable of scraping different things right from the UI. Today I want to tell you a little story about how I created SCRAPEX, and you will be able to scrape any info you want. First, almost to the date, created the original SCRAPEX but didn't released. This project was designed to scrape tens of thousands of pages. Although, some reported scraping hundreds of thousands with it. Back then I just had this crazy idea that I wanted to make a website crawler because it was a challenge, and also because I could scrape external domains for SEO purposes. Also back then I didn't know as compared to what I know these days. Regardless, I set off and ended up with a half-decent system. But there was a looming problem with that system. It used text files to process the data and a bunch of features to try and make it work better. After making many versions of it, I then went on to make many unreleased versions of SCRAPEX. I actually spent months trying to make the thing scrape more pages while being as memory efficient as possible. Eventually, the project was shelved and I never released SCRAPEX until it's not 100% efficient. I knew there was only one thing left to do. I needed to rewrite the system from scratch. SCRAPEX is a complete rewrite. It was designed with one thing in mind, to make the best possible crawler that I could, and to do it using the modern techniques. I started implementing the core part of the system. I always like to tackle the hardest parts first. And from the very first time I started up an official test, it ran without errors. For way longer than I could have ever imagined. I knew I was onto something. The primary difference between SCRAPEX and the original versions is that it is built around a database. And it leverages that database anytime it can. SCRAPEX leverages the efficiency of the database system to do some of its processing and heavy lifting. The database system was built for this and is way more efficient. This allows SCRAPEX to run faster, smoother, and while using less resources. Another massive improvement is that SCRAPEX now detects all sort of URLs. URLs come in all shapes and sizes, some start with 2 slashes while others don't even have slashes. There are several variations, and V1 was not able to detect internal URLs without a host name. I ran all sorts of tests on the core of the engine. Dozens of websites were tested against, along with several news sites, thousands of pages on each, to be sure it could crawl and find information on them. There are many new features and improvements besides the engine. So if you somehow watched it this far and are still watching, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe to know more. Buy SCRAPEX today and let me know feedback. Sales page link is given in description. Thanks for watching and learning scraping techniques.